Hello and welcome to the channel. This is a video of last night's stream, a 25% race at Brazil. Top 4 separated by less than a second, top 2 separated by less than half a tenth. Leading the way is Mini Jorgo, Donut Griller, myself, Lai and Jess down in 5th. We're about to get underway and it's quite a great race. Penalties are involved, different tyre strategies and thoughts and prayers sent through the entire race, and the results are quite interesting. Let's get underway and let's see what happens together. As we survive the carnage of lap 1, getting a few bumps into turn 1, surviving it, not getting turned around, one car, the Red Bull, not being so lucky, getting a bit of a turn at that point. We survived lap 1, still sitting in P3, but crucially still sitting in DRS range of the 2 cars ahead. The top 5 are all on the same tyres. We're all within about 4 seconds of each other. We're all pulling away from the main pack ahead. If you look at the track map, first, second, and myself, I've already pulled a nice little 1 second gap of P4 in the light FPS. The light FPS is a rapid driver, him and I going blow for blow at most tracks. So it was very good to see and very important that I've already dropped him off and I'm staying in the DRS zone of Donut Gorilla and Mini Jorgo. Like I said, these guys significantly quicker than me on a quality pace. Do I have what it takes to keep up with them and overtake them? Will these medium tyres wear out quicker for me or for them? Will the tyre strategy come into play? It's all going to be answered in about 10 laps time when everyone finishes their first round of pit stops. And it's about to just be survival of the fittest, race of attrition, and a lot more carnage going on. As you look at the track map a little bit more before we fast forward, the mid-pack is all neck and neck. And when we fast forward, you're going to see that they don't really separate. It is a massive DRS train behind. But the top 3, as I nearly lose it coming out the final corner, that's going to cost me. We don't lose DRS still, luckily, but that's going to put us on the back foot for the next following laps.
Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Take a look at it.
So, we're about 5 laps into the race now. Absolutely pulled away from the second part of the field. Lai and Max Spurt, 4-7 and 8-2 behind. The main pack behind the Haas driver still battling neck and neck. It is a very tightly knit field out the back, so we're lucky to avoid that with a good qualifying. Drivers like Amy, who always have a massive margin on the rest of us, got stuck with a disqualification lap time in quali, and unfortunately were not able to make their way through, and I think they just ended up leaving the race at one point. But we're just holding on to DRS here, sitting at 9/10 into turn 1. Him having his dirty air into turn 1 made us safe to not lose DRS this time around. The line sitting 5 seconds behind with no DRS available. With DRS, I'm doing my best to manage my battery percentages as best as I can. Mini Jorgo and Donut Gorilla going blow at the moment, constantly battling, constantly slowing themselves down, keeping me in the mix and allowing me to save as much battery as possible. Focusing on keeping that 1 second gap underneath as it ticks over 1 second for a moment there. As Jorgo gets in that dirty air and loses a little bit of time. Using that to my knowledge, I'm able to keep out of the dirty air just enough to not, as we have one of our first wobbles of the race. That is the early signs of our tyres starting to kick themselves right now. As we send it down the hill, and we're about 6/10 now, close that gap. We used our overtake coming down the hill, but that caused us to miss our braking point a tiny bit. and go a bit funny on the exit, losing a bit of time. Luckily with our saved battery this lap, it's allowed us to not really suffer too much. We're 1.5 off the leader, 0.9, 0.9, nearly had DRS range again. We've got to nail turn 1 again, and we have a mixture of that and his dirty air. 885 as we go over the detection zone. The racing is still going with lap 7 as we approach the final phase, the only phase of pit stops. It's still a 1.2 gap between the top 3. This is going to be very close. As we make our way to the halfway point of the race, we're sitting on lap 9 now of 18. This is when everyone's going to get off.
Box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed.
Thank you, pit engineer. I appreciate that. So we're pitting in this lap, hoping the other cars do one more lap than us. Watching, I was going to do the opposite of what they did. They both stayed out. My turn to come in. Now I chose the hard tyres. I was struggling on the mediums for 9 laps. I know I'm going to have a pace advantage if I go to the softs for a couple laps, but it wouldn't last. As we go into the pits, hoping the cars coming around the hill that we're going to come out ahead of them. It's so close. As we put our tyres on, we've got a short trip to, and they're both coming in the pits. I remember when I was doing this live, I was panicking. But with not much battery left over and a lap of free air, we'll do what we can to catch them up here. However, we're sitting 21 off the leader. 22 seconds off the leader. Live PS 14 seconds. He's not in our battle. With Hedgen and Max Spurt leaving the pits. I think you saw Kieran get a 10-second penalty. He obviously didn't slow down enough for the pit stop and caught the penalty. He lost 2 places as a result. But it's been an absolute it's been awful. It's been a very slow outlap, I have to be honest. The outlap was very slow. Sector 1, Sector 2, both yellow sectors for myself. But the important thing to note here is they're both pitting now. Going to do their change of tyres. Are they going to go on the hards, or like myself, or are they going to go onto the soft compound tyres? The soft compound tyres is what they've chosen. Both of them on the soft tyres. The live PS, I believe, goes to the hards like me. Now, the most important thing is, can I get out ahead of at least one of these cars? If I can get out ahead of one of these cars, I might be able to disrupt the flow that these two have. As we see them coming around, there's Donut, there's Jorko. It's going to be close. And just like that, I've gotten a 3-second penalty. Has it all been for nothing? We're not ahead. We have a 3-second penalty. This lap could not have gotten any worse, and we're only in Sector 1. Let's see. Those soft tyres, I hope they wear out quickly, because there's not going to be a lot I can do here. The best I can do now is try and keep within a second DRS. No, maybe lap 16, lap 17. There is an opportunity for me. I don't think I'll keep up on the soft runners though. It's going to be a very challenging race here. With these soft tyres, they'll be about a second lap quicker than me initially, but the gap will come down eventually. So my important time now is to keep within that second, and you take full advantage of the DRS while Donut doesn't have DRS himself. Let's fast forward a few laps and let's see what happens. Alright, let's watch through this now. So we're just fast forwarding about 3 or 4 times speed right now. I think it's 4 times speed. Just zooming through the laps. As you can see, we're slowly falling out of DRS range here. But at the same time, as it immediately comes back down to under a second there on Jonah Gorilla, they can't keep that 1 second gap on me. Because the dirty air and other factors are just slowing them down. With Jorgo now with a 2.3 second gap, we'll see that gap come down slightly. No, but stay consistent. So at lap 14, the hard and soft tyres are pretty much performing the exact same. With Donut Gorilla not having DRS, he's not able to pull away from me, constantly giving me DRS lap in, lap out, as the gap for moments comes under 2 seconds on Mini Jorgo, using the extra speed of DRS to close us down. As we're down to 2.1 seconds on Jorgo, we are half a second behind Donut Gorilla coming onto the back straight of lap 15. We are 7.3 seconds to the live FPS behind. We have a 3-second penalty still, which it was disheartening. Because I'm like, I need to get past these guys if I need a shot at winning. So with a lot of batteries saved up this lap, 3/10 behind, DRS open, 1.8 seconds behind Jorgo as well. We send it here in the hopes of maybe get DRS here on Jorgo. Not quite enough, compounded by the fact he's gotten DRS on the back marker here. So that's great, he's going to get a bit of a gap on us here. Lap 16 of 18, 3 racing laps to go now. Using all the battery we have, keeping Donut Gorilla behind us at this point. Not the greatest turn in there. I'm under pressure now because I know I need to get a move on. I know these hard tyres are now going to be dominant on these soft runners here. But here's the thing. I can't lift off for a second now. With under a second, I've caught up to Jorgo now. His tyres are screaming. I'm under a second. It's 7/10, 6/10. The soft tyres advantage is completely gone. The roles are now reversed. They are now being hunted, and I'm the hunter. Donut Gorilla, crucially, falling out of that 1 second gap. Mini Jorgo, 0.3 behind him, coming around the final corner, saving his battery, dumping it on the straight, just like myself. 4/10 is the gap, heading up the hill. DRS about to kick open. 3/10 is the gap. I am out of battery. He isn't. We gotta send it here. We gotta go for it. We gotta go for it. We gotta go for it. Send up the inside. He leaves the door open. He doesn't fight it. He gets caught sleeping. He's either outbraked himself or he's just let me through. I don't know why he's done that. I think he didn't mean to. I think he intentionally let me through, knowing I have a 3-second penalty and that he can keep up. With him being 3/10 behind now, he nearly goes for the move on me. Maybe he was trying to do the switchback on the DRS with me, but he doesn't do it. Half a second down now. We just have to get a really good sector through here, make a second gap, and pull away as we've got a half second. He's spun! You see my reaction there? I'm absolutely shocked there. His back end, he just lost the back end turning in. I think Dirty Air mixed with hitting the curb. He's lost the back end. After the race I spoke with him, he said to me that he clipped the curb, but looking at that, I think he's turning too aggressively. A mix of Dirty Air, unsettled the back end, no rear downfalls from the Dirty Air, mixed with the curb has binned him. As we now have a 2.3 second gap on Donut Gorilla. With 1 lap, 2.5 is the gap between myself and Donut Gorilla. Can I find 4/10s on the final lap with good hard tyres versus wearing out soft tyres? It's the final lap. We have 2.3 second gap. We have a 3-second penalty. We need to find half a second. Battery is gone. I don't know what his battery is at this point. We are 2.6 seconds ahead going into turn 4. I don't know the corners, I apologise. 2.6 is the gap. This is now where we're going to make all our time. 2.7 is the gap now. 2.7 seconds. We're saving all battery now through here. We do not need the battery pack in. 2.8 is the gap. With about half a corner between us, how much time do we have coming out of this corner? It's 2.9 seconds. 3 seconds. We've got the gap. Can we hold it for 3 more corners? 3.05, 3.1, 2.9. He's got brought back 3.1. He's lost time there. He's spun the wheels. 3.3. We come up the hill. The battery, 30% battery. Use it to the end. 3.6. 3.7. The gap keeps going up. We've done it. P3. 3-second penalty off the first set of pit stops. We pulled it back. After penalty serve, we've won by less than a second.
At no point that race did I think for one moment that I was going to win that race.
Live FPS coming home in third. Jorgo after his spin, after he absolutely bottled it. Lando Norris want to be right there. Coming home in fourth, not even on the podium unfortunately. Lockie P5. Drivers like Amy, like I said, stuck in traffic, left the lobby midway through. They would have been a contender for the race win if they didn't leave. Kieran Day got a 10-second penalty at the end there. Don't know where he would have been off if he had got that 10-second penalty. Looks like he got another one. It was a very good race though. Josky, he bumped me at the start of the race. If you saw that collision going to turn 1, I think he got spun around and left right away. What an absolutely phenomenal race in my servers. If you like this type of racing, think about sending me a request on PlayStation or EA. Redeemer X2 is the name, like my channel. I think it's YT at the end of it, at the bottom there. It's just Redeemer X2. Send me a request when you can, and you can get in lobbies like this. We post when we live stream on Twitch and TikTok primarily, where our engagement is. And we're just getting these lobbies in because we're sick of people driving dirty. And you get lobbies like this, where the best of the best are racing. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Follow, etc. Bye.